you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. I've over-medicated. It's Miko. Welcome to Carry On Chronically. I have fibromyalgia and I like to show you how I live with chronic pain. So let's have a carry on. This video very likely might be choppy because I'm having some on and off, up and down, really bad hip and sacrum pain. So nobody needs to see that. So I might do a topic, take a break, do a topic, take a break. It's, what time is it just now? It's 8:20. So good start to the day. I did plan on doing the video a bit earlier. Like I say, I have had some pain and I had a busy day on Twitter as well, trying to sort something out, or trying to get something started, which we will talk about shortly. It'd be really silly not to address the coronavirus right now, because I think for us and for many, many others, it's a really scary time. And a lot of us won't be sure what to do. Some of us might suddenly be stuck in the house with people who aren't so understanding about our conditions. Some of us may be quite isolated. And I think I've found a solution to that. And she's on Twitter. Let me just bring this up. And her name is Brianna. I found her on Twitter. I do hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. But yes, I found her on Twitter through, she'd started a hashtag for people, especially now, people, if they can get access to it, are going to feel less isolated. So I'm going to pop Brianne's details on the screen right now. I'm going to pop her Twitter handle there, and I'm also going to pop it in the description so that you can get just a clickable link just to go on there and follow Brianne, because I think that even more so now, it's a community is important to us. So I think it's a case of getting each other through this, and I think that Brianna is creating a really safe space to do that. So please go ahead and follow Brianna on Twitter. I found a great channel. If you like me, I think you'll like this channel. It's a lady called Ange, and her channel is called Ange Activated, and I have been having so much fun watching those videos, so check that out. I'll pop a little picture of it here, and again I'll pop some information in the comments of the video. So I had my pain management clinic appointment recently. I went along with Campbell. I took him as some token cock because, you know, the whole misogyny thing, about us not really sometimes being believed about our pain. Plus he can remember things that happen in the appointment, because I come out and get all jumbled up, and he's really helpful. It also prompts me while I'm in there, because you'll know this, you get a pain management appointment, you've waited ages for it, you've got so much to tell them, you can't fit it all in without sounding, you know, like completely hysterical. So you pick and choose the bits that are most important to you, and you know, you come away going, oh, I forgot, I wish I'd said that. So that kind of happened, but hey ho, what can you do? I've had the appointment. The next step is a follow-up with his nurse, which I think is a follow-up to see how I've got on with the things he's given me. And what he has given me is this chili cream. It's capsa cream, and it's basically like from capsicums, chili sort of things, and it's meant to be really good for dulling down the pain sensors. So I'm not sure which type of pains it works best with yet, and the advice is that you do have to use it for 4 to 6 weeks before you actually get used to the burning sensation enough that it becomes a numbing sensation. So I'm going to persevere with it. The only thing is, my dog thinks I'm a popsicle. As soon as I get out of the shower, she just starts trying to lick my legs and stuff. So I'm going to have to be very careful of the placement of the cream, and that Maisie can't get. Where is she? She's over there. Can you see her? She's in the total huff because Campbell's away out on a gaming night, and on a gaming night means he probably won't be home till like 4 in the morning. So she's just going to be torture till then, just huffing and puffing and scratching and crying and stuff. So that'll be fun, won't it? Are you still in the huff? So yes, I got this capsa cream. We're going to really give that a try. Just have to be very careful with it.
Careful with the eyes. Yeah!
But we'll give that a go, and I'll keep you updated as to how I'm going with it. If you've tried it and you've got any tips or any advice on how the best way to use it, please go ahead and leave them in the comments for me and everyone else. What else? We talked about the pain that I'm in my hips and my basically pelvis area. He checked the range of movement and said that I had a good range of movement in it. So that takes away any worries about, anything, I suppose anything sinister. But it doesn't make it any easier because the pain is just horrific. So he's also put me on another drug, celecoxib. That one, that's it. I really hope, and I haven't read about it yet because I don't want my hopes crushed. I really hope that this is a medication that builds up, because I've been taking it, and I didn't think anti-inflammatories had to do that, but I haven't done enough research on it. I've been taking it for a few days and haven't really noticed any improvement at all. So I'm really hoping that it builds up in my system and becomes like a barrier or something. I don't know. He talks about me using my TENS machine more, which he's probably right about. I tend to find my TENS machine only works with the likes of sciatic pain, which I am very, very rarely and infrequently bothered by. But I think that the more I can do, the better. So he's right, we'll give that a go. So yeah, the pain management clinic went well, better than I expected. He was very professional, very nice. Never really, he focused purely on the pain, not the cause of the pain, not why I had the pain, not, was it a mental thing, is it a physical thing? None of that. Just focused on trying to make me cope better with the pain. So we'll see how that goes. If I don't see any benefit and I go back to the nurse, I'm really hoping I would then be given another appointment because it's getting at hand. But at the same time, I think that over the next few months, what they are going to call like services at the hospital and services at the local clinics and doctor surgeries are probably going to go to necessity only at some point. I've seen one of my friends got a text from her surgery saying that they would be cancelling appointments that weren't completely necessary. I'd love to see how they figure out what's necessary or not, because that could mean that people like us get left even further behind than we already are. So it's a difficult one because obviously while I am completely understanding of the situation with the COVID-19 virus, I'm also kind of scared that it's an excuse for them to just forget about us. Do you know what I mean? And this is something I'm probably going to make a separate video on, because I had a day on Twitter and I was like, that day when you have a day, it doesn't matter whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on the internet or whether it's in real life or not, but you look back in your day and you go, oh shit, I really contradicted myself today, because I spent the whole day sort of advocating for people with chronic illness and talking about how it's really unfair how all these accommodations can suddenly be made for able-bodied people under these conditions, but could never be made for chronically ill and disabled people less than a month ago, And that's a kick in the guts. And then I just kept fannying about on Twitter and I came across a tweet from Stephen Fry, and I'll put it up on the screen here. And Stephen Fry's an alright bloke, isn't he? I mean, like, we've got nothing in common, let's face it. But sometimes he says some nice philosophical things, and I like that. And it was something along the lines of, right, we've got to bury hatchets, we've got to be nice to each other, we've got to forget about all of our differences to fight this. And I thought that's really nice and I liked it. And then later on I was like, wait, no. Because I don't think that chronically ill and disabled people get a chance to have a voice very often. And I'm sorry, if we have to use a crisis to highlight the problems that disabled and chronically ill people face all the time, then I'm sorry, then that's what it's going to have to be. Because yes, self-isolating, able-bodied people self-isolating for 2 weeks, or catching COVID-19 and the sort of anxiety that comes along with that, and these are things chronically ill and disabled people face all the time. So if these accommodations can be made for the vast majority of people, which disabled people, so quickly, why can't they be made? I mean, I saw a woman on Twitter the other day, and honestly, it broke my heart. Less than a couple of weeks ago, she had been begging, due to her disability, to do a part-time course, to be there part-time and sometimes be able to sort of work from home. And they were like, no. And her schools just went fully online. Think about how much of a kick in the guts that is. They're basically saying, you don't matter. You don't matter to us. And that's what it feels like to a chronically ill or disabled person. So Yes, we want to be helpful and bury hatchets and be nice to each other and try and help each other, but don't feel guilty for using this crisis to highlight the voice of disabled and chronically ill people. I'm not. Sorry, I'm not. And saying that, I think it's very important to be positive in the sense of creating a community, and that we want to be able to speak and want to be able to get together and comfort each other and properly, look after each other. We want to do that in a positive way, but just because you're using your voice to highlight injustices in the world for disabled and chronic illness people doesn't mean you're being negative. Okay, so it's just about doing it the right way. Yeah? In my opinion, everybody, in my opinion, everybody is going to have different opinions on that, and that's absolutely fine. I'm learning as I go here. And yeah, that day was quite an eye-opener for me, because I was like, yeah, let's all be nice to each other. And then I was like, we're going to get left even further and further behind here if we don't lift our voices. Now. So that's fine. That's everything really, I think, that I wanted to discuss today. I'm also really struggling with rib and back. I feel like I'm being crushed. So, because, look at the government, right? They're all fucking idiots. I'm sorry, they are. And when they're being idiots, we have to try not be idiots. Do you know if that makes sense? It's very difficult. Like, when you watch apocalyptic movies, don't you feel like sometimes the president, unless it's like a comedy or something, the president's always this, like, beacon of hope. Really good looking, like, suave, well-dressed, always knows what to say. And it turns out that when the apocalypse does happen, the country's been run by a bunch of fucknuts. So let's counteract the fucknuttery. Bye. Not bye. No, I forgot something. The thing that I've been on Twitter about all day today is that I was sitting earlier, quite heavily medicated, having a think. And I thought, why isn't there a nationwide or even further worldwide symbol for immunocompromised people to say, please be careful around me, stay 10 feet away, or, these something to let people who are compromised and who are more susceptible to picking this disease up and who don't have the privilege to self-isolate all the time, to say, could you please be careful around me? I am vulnerable to this. So obviously I thought somebody had already thought of that, right? And my friend on Twitter, Hannah, she came in and went, that's a really good idea. And I was, somebody has to have thought of this. And she's had a look, and I've had a look. And we can't find, I know people have thought of this for their own personal circumstances. I know very much, because I'll put up some details of a Twitter account that makes badges for lanyards that lets people know that you're immunocompromised. So individually, people have already thought of this, and it's a great idea. But I was like, why isn't it a government recognised thing? Why isn't there one symbol that is a worldwide recognised thing to say, be careful around me? So I'd initially thought the sunflower, because the Hydro in Glasgow does a similar thing with invisible disability. I.e., if you have a sunflower on anything you're wearing or anything that you're using, it can say, I have an invisible disability, which is all good and well, but they don't tell the able people about it. So, like, they just think we're wearing a bunch of sunflowers for the good of our fucking health. I don't know. Which actually we are wearing the sunflower for the good of our health. Come on! So something like that. So I'm saying, like, sunflower button, and then another person comes in with a brilliant idea saying stop sign from now on, and I'm like, stop sign? So brilliant, so, like, obvious, easy, can't be interpreted as anything else. You can't be, like, wearing a sunflower and somebody blunder right up to you and spit in your face like, oh, I love sunflowers too, do you love sunflowers? You know what I mean? Like, there's no ambiguity about it. It's a stop sign. I mean, other than saying fuck off, what else, can you do? So I've got a tweet going. If you're into Twitter and you don't already follow me, I'll put my handle up here. I have tried to include as many of the Scottish Government officials regarding health as I can. I've even aimed a bit high and tweeted the WHO, not that WHO, this WHO. So if you think this is a good idea, if you think this is something you would benefit from, I actually made a little mock-up. And I say mock-up because my Photoshop skills are whack, right? They're shit. They're very basic. I use Photoshop for what I know and need to use it for, and nothing else. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to learn it all, but my brain is not happy to do that at the moment. But yeah, I'm very basic.
You're basic.
So I've done a very basic mock-up. I'm going to put it in the I'm going to put it on my Twitter. Don't know if if I can put it in the comments so that you can download it, but if I can, I will. And even if you just want to start using it for your own benefit. But I'm trying to get this recognised so that, because it's like the hydro, if everybody's wearing a sunflower but able-bodied people don't know what the sunflower's for, then what's the point? This needs to be government recognised, recognised by all disability charities. Everyone needs to be able to look at something and say, that person's immunocompromised, I need to help them, I need to be careful around them. For everybody's sake, this works. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is pure, you're a pal and a confidant. Doo-doo-doo-doo. If you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, what is it? You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. I've over-medicated. Bye. Hi, it's Miko. Welcome to Carry On Chronically. I have fibromyalgia and I like to live yet. Hi, it's Miko. Welcome to Carry On Chronically. Capsa, something. Capsa. Oh, I don't even want to try and say that, man. You can just call it capsa cream, but it's like capsicin. No, fuck it. I'm going to go and get it because I can't actually remember and I'll never be able to Google it. Oh, yeah. So that we can put more content up on the channel. Fuck me. Fuck me! I've actually made a mock-up, and I say mock-up because my photoships get Photoshop. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?